Hello and welcome to my channel for news about the Fact Gossip 24. Please follow and subscribe for more information. Alana, your friend, is me. Let's begin.
Sweet Child of Mine, 90-Day Fiancé's Julia Trubkina's baby drama explained. Her Kingdom for Dogs business is all about fur babies, but she and Brandon may not have children. Julia Trubkina from 90-Day, The Last Resort, enjoys taking care of her fur babies, but she may choose not to have her own children with Brandon Gibbs in the future. Julia and Brandon met when she worked as a go-go dancer in Russia. Their relationship progressed, and they got engaged in Iceland. In 2020, Julia finally moved to the United States from Russia on a K-1 visa to marry Brandon. Initially, Julia faced challenges adjusting to farm life while living with Brandon's parents, Ron and Betty Gibbs, on their farm, as she is from a big city in Russia. Julia and Brandon moved out of the farm as per Julia's wishes and started living independently in an apartment. They eventually purchased their own house in Virginia Beach, Virginia. However, this major financial decision caused them to have money problems. With Brandon as the sole full-time worker, Julia felt the need to find employment to help with their finances. She attempted to work as a go-go dancer, a choice that Brandon didn't approve of. In addition to financial struggles, the couple also had disagreements about future goals, such as starting a family. Julia and Brandon were married in 2020, and shortly after the wedding, she expressed a desire to expand their family by having a baby. However, at the time, Brandon wasn't fully prepared for parental responsibilities. Over the past few years, they have set up their new house and traveled as much as possible. Now that the couple has been married for 5 years, Brandon wishes to experience fatherhood, but Julia isn't yet ready. During 90-Day, The Last Resort, she shared concerns about feeling that her husband was still too immature to have a baby. During a therapy session, Julia shared another reason she didn't want to have a baby with Brandon. She said, "When I say, I don't want kids. And when I say I don't want because I'm so scared to be in reality." After consulting doctors in Russia, Julia learned that she has fertility problems, which is why she won't be able to conceive a baby with Brandon. She doesn't want to accept this reality, so she has decided she doesn't want to have children. Although she's willing to seek a second opinion from American doctors, the reality may not change. As a result, she agreed to seek a second opinion from doctors in America in a recent episode of 90-Day, The Last Resort Season 2. However, it seems that Julia still has conflicting feelings about becoming a mother. While she believes that a married couple should have children, she has also been influenced by Russian doctors, who have informed her that she may have difficulty conceiving due to fertility issues. Julia hasn't strongly expressed her desire to have a baby in the past few years. Watching Brandon and Julia argue about having a baby, Ariella Weinberg suggested that Julia may be hesitant to see doctors because she might not truly want to become a mother. If she did, she would likely have sought advice from fertility specialists even without Brandon pushing her. It's possible that Julia isn't yet ready for such a major decision and responsibility, especially without a strong support system in the United States. Perhaps once her parents are able to come from Russia to live with her in America, she may reconsider her stance. Julia possesses a nurturing maternal instinct, which she has chosen to dedicate to her new business, Kingdom for Dogs. The business offers monthly subscription boxes for dogs, as well as training services. Julia launched her business in October 2024 and has experienced considerable success in the past 5 months. She has shipped her boxes to over 19 states in the United States, including Alaska. By turning her love of dogs into a thriving venture, Julia has found fulfillment in her new role as an entrepreneur. She particularly enjoys personally delivering the boxes to her customers' beloved pets. She enjoys spending time with animals and doesn't feel like she is missing out on not having her own child. Julia is able to give her maternal affection to her dogs and receive love in return. There is a chance that her plans to have children could be put on hold due to her successful business. Julia may find her business so fulfilling that she ultimately decides to dedicate all of her time to it instead of pursuing motherhood. At 31 years old, Brandon is eager to become a father sooner rather than later. However, he also has a deep love for his wife, Julia. He knew she would be his wife the moment he saw her dancing in a club in Russia. Even if Julia ultimately decides not to have a child, Brandon will support her decision. During 90 Day, the last resort, Brandon mentioned that he ideally wants to have a baby with Julia. However, if that wasn't possible, he would never consider leaving her for someone who could give him a child. Brandon is committed to staying by Julia's side no matter what. Despite feeling hurt by her lies and past infidelity, he still wants her in his life and may come to accept that Julia may not want to be a mother. Hopefully, 90 Day, the last resort, provided the couple with tools to help them overcome their challenges, if not fully resolve them.